It's amazing how life can shift in a matter of hours. This is the story of how God miraculously healed my mom of many serious illnesses. On April 13th, 2023, I had spent a lovely visit with my 80-year-old mom. We laughed, reminisced, and shared a beautiful afternoon together. It never crossed my mind that only a few hours later, I'd receive news that would shake my world. My mom had suffered a brain bleed, a subarachnoid hemorrhage, and had been rushed to the hospital. The next day, I made my way to her hospital room, unsure of what to expect. But when I walked in, there she was, sitting calmly as if nothing extraordinary had happened. She said she was walking out of there. I said, "Yes, you absolutely will." That moment became a cornerstone of hope for us. The surgery was successful, but the journey didn't stop there. The doctors called me the next day with more news than I expected. Mom had developed blood clots in her lungs, known as pulmonary embolisms. Her white blood cell count was high, signaling an infection. They discovered atrial fibrillation in her heart, abdominal bleeding, and, as if that weren't enough, something suspicious in one of her lungs that needed further investigation. Each new diagnosis felt like another mountain to climb, but my mom's faith never wavered. There were now 5 different teams of doctors assigned to Mom: a cardiac team, a pulmonary team, a hematologist, a neurologist, and an internal medicine team. Then one day, something changed. Mom seemed different, very tired, lethargic, and she began seeing things that weren't there. Her personality shifted in ways that alarmed us. I had been visiting almost every day and playing Mom's favorite worship songs for her. After an examination, the doctors discovered that Mom's cerebral fluid wasn't draining from her brain as it should. They suggested a lumbar puncture to relieve the pressure. Mom was unable to make decisions for herself by this point, so the responsibility fell to me. We decided to move forward with the procedure. There was some improvement afterward, but about a week later, the symptoms returned. This time, worse than before. A second lumbar puncture was performed, but it failed to yield the results we had hoped for. Mom was now diagnosed with hydrocephalus. She also began refusing to eat, adding yet another layer of concern. However, I kept playing worship songs and praying for her when I saw her. When she heard the worship music, she would relax and close her eyes. The doctors proposed a solution, a shunt, a long tube that would drain the excess fluid from her brain to her abdomen. I agreed to the procedure, reasoning that Mom wouldn't want to give up. God's grace was there through it all, despite the insurmountable challenges we faced. This journey stretched over 4.5 months, during which many of Mom's roommates left the hospital, some alive, others not. This second shunt had to work. One morning, as I prepared to visit Mom, after I had breakfast with a colleague, I received a call from the hospital. This time, the cheerful voice on the other end took me by surprise. It was my mom. She sounded completely normal. I went back to the hospital to see her. When I entered her room, she was lying in bed, still unable to stand or walk after being bedridden for so long. She said it's as if someone flipped a switch and she was back. Even doctors and nurses were popping in to see her. They called her the Miracle Mom. Through every step of this journey, my mom's resilience and unwavering faith inspired everyone around her. God did miracle after miracle. Finally, Mom had radiation treatment, and after some time, Mom was declared cancer-free. Her journey reminded me that faith isn't just about hoping for the best. It's about declaring God's promises, even when circumstances seem bleak. To God be the glory for the miracles He works in our lives, big and small.